Hello and welcome to a review of the LEGO City 60408 car transporter. This is a set from 2024 with just shy of 1,000 pieces, 998 to be precise. It comes with, as you can see, 4 minifigures, a truck, a car transporter trailer, and then 3 cars, which have a slight customizable aspect about them, which we'll look at shortly. But let's start with the minifigs. Here are the first 2 minifigures in the set, and really all the minifigures in this set can play whatever role you would like. Although I do believe that the guy on the left here is kind of designated as the truck driver. But I think anyone can really be anyone you like. Just notice this guy's headpiece is not quite straight. There we go. I really like these minifigures. All the prints look good, and I like how they are very usable in any circumstance. You know, they're not tied specifically to this set or a particular role. You can see the print on the back of them, and this one obviously has no alternate face because the headpiece would reveal it, and neither does that one. The guy on the left, who had the hat, has also got a other hairpiece included in the set, which I do like how LEGO are doing this nowadays, so that when a minifigure takes off a hat, they have some hair to put on. Very good. Here are the other 2 minifigures in the set, and I also like all the prints with these. I do believe that the one on the right, the torso print on the right, has been used a lot before. I've certainly seen it on multiple occasions, but it still looks good. And again, it's a nice universal print that can be used in any circumstance. I do believe both of these head prints, or face prints, I don't know what you want to call them, are relatively new. And you can see that that one has an alternate face, looking slightly less maybe cheerful than this one. But yeah, again, another set of 2 good minifigures. Here is the truck, which is arguably the main thing in the set, and it is very large. When you compare it to a minifigure, it really is large. It can take 3 cars comfortably, and I would think more. But let's decouple it from the truck for now and have a look at the cab first. The trailer has 2 little stands here, which can be folded down, although it can only be folded down when the truck is turned relative to the trailer, which is slightly annoying. And then it just pops out of the spot. It uses this piece for the 5th wheel, and then on the trailer is just a modified Technic ball pin. It works very well. So we'll move the set away for now, and we will have a look at the truck cab, which usually I do feel LEGO try to base their trucks on something in real life. This one, though, has had me scratching my head. I can't exactly place what it reminds me of. I'm going to go with a Renault T-Series, but I could be wrong. I do like it, though. It's a good, solid build. Yes, it's solid. It feels very solid. It's got a tilt cab on it, like a real European truck would have, and you can see the engine there, which is possibly hinting that it's a 4-cylinder. I would have thought it would be more like a 6, but who knows, maybe it's a straight 4. You can see on the back there's a fire extinguisher, I do believe, and a first aid box along with the exhaust stack there. There is some lights on the back, just brake lights. I guess it's not intended to not haul a trailer, or at least be on the road without a trailer. And the front, you can see we've got lights on the front. Again, no indicators, so, slightly illegal, but that's fine. The roof can be removed, and it comes off as one large section. And inside, you can see we've got a steering wheel, and I can take the windscreen off as well so you can see better. Windscreen, steering wheel, and a gauge cluster, along with space for 2 minifigures, and 2 minifigures can indeed sit in there comfortably, which is cool. I always like when 2 minifigures can fit in a vehicle, and when the vehicle is over 8 studs wide, that should be expected. It is interesting how the roof overhangs the windscreen so much. It actually means it doesn't seal, because it's hollow up in there. But yeah, looks good to me, and I do like it. So let's pop this over to the side for now, and let's bring the very large trailer back in. And there's honestly not too much to this trailer, really. You can pretty much see everything. There's the front of it, there's those little legs which fold down, and the back, again, only brake lights. We're really not going with indicators in this set, are we? But yes, it looks good, the trailer, and its functionality works very well. So we'll hitch back up to the truck to show you it operating. Fold those up, and then the fifth wheel does just kind of slot into place, and it locks in. And it feels very good when kind of moving about. It takes some serious turning though. This is a long wheelbase, this unit, so it does take some serious turning, and due to the width, on the modern Lego City roads, it kind of takes up the whole road, which is a little bit of a problem, but the width is kind of important to its functionality, I guess. So you can fold down the rear ramps, and then obviously you can drive a car simply onto the lower decks, and then it does ground out here a little bit, and it kind of ends up floating, but it gets over, and then you can have one car there, or you can pull it forward further and have it here, and you can actually even push it up to the front, to there, and then bring in another car, which will also ground out here, and it can fit in there. It's a little bit tight. I don't think I'd like my new car delivered literally rubbing the one behind it, but it does fit. So you can fit two on the bottom deck, one comfortably and two at a squeeze. If they were slightly smaller cars, there wouldn't be a worry. Let's get the orange one out again. Come on. It's a little bit of a rough ride, and this is slightly unfortunate how much it grounds out here. But, you know. But then the whole top deck can fold, and this is a very clever build here. This bit is on Technic axles, and it slides. So you simply push it along, and look at that, pivots down, and now it's a smooth ramp. There we go, it fits right in. That's a smooth ramp all the way up. So you can now take a car, and you can just drive it up. And it's actually smoother going up onto the top deck, and then you just head right up, right to the top, locks into place. Second one, right up, locks into place. Again, you can have them touching if you want, but since there's no space really for a third car anyway, maybe if you had a small one, you might as well pull it back so they're not touching. And then you can fold it back up. There we go. And then you could pull a car in down the bottom. There we go. Into, come on, up we go. And if you have another car, which I came prepared with, you can get that in there and fold it up. And there is 4 cars on it with space for a small one. Something like a Fiat 500 or a smart car sized vehicle would fit in there quite happily. And there's your full load, and you can go far with it. And due to the size of the wheels, it's still quite easy to roll. You do feel the weight though, definitely. And as I said, the turning is quite difficult. That car isn't strapped down very well, but you know, we're not going on any roads. Now this isn't the most recent Lego City car transporter. There was one which came out a few years ago, which I didn't review because I didn't think it looked all that good. I believe its number was 60307, but I could be mistaken. If I am mistaken, it will have popped up below what the correct number was. But before that, 11 years ago now, 10 years before this one was released, in 2014, there was a very good car transporter set, set 60060, and I've actually got it here. So we can, let's turn it around, so same way, so we can have a little comparison. And you can see that the new one is quite a lot larger. I apologise for the dust on all this. It's been in storage in quite a dusty place apparently. But you can see that this is a 6 stud wide truck, which is designed to carry 4 stud wide cars. And this is a 8, beyond 8 stud, kind of like a 9 stud, going to 10 at these points, wide truck designed to carry 6 stud wide cars. So as the cars have scaled up in Lego City, so have the trucks, kind of obviously. I really like this truck design. I thought it worked very well. This is obviously more of a rigid unit with then a a bumper pull trailer. It's got a better name than that, but I've forgotten it now. Whereas that is an articulated unit. So slightly different design, but a similar idea in the fact that you can load 4 cars on this one, arguably more comfortably. These 4 cars are not touching or scraping. The problem with this one is that cars of a certain height, such as this black one, couldn't actually get below here. So you really had to put cars without roofs, which Lego City were big on producing around that time, under there. So I think the only way to take this one out is actually sideways. But once you didn't have anything below, it simply folded down on the Technic axles, and then you unclipped it and drove it away. And that was that. And then you either deattached, I mean, you really had to deattach the trailer if you wanted to get the one off the top deck, but off the bottom deck you could kind of put these ramps down, and kind of like real life, which is how these are driven on, you could unclip it, see, using this clip around the bumper, and it would roll off over the whole unit and eventually get off. There we go. And then you could take the trailer off and drop that one down. It was a very good shot, this. You can also see in the front, fold this back up so it can pivot. See around the front that it's of a similar design. This one looks maybe more like a, I don't know, maybe a Mercedes or a MAN truck. It does not have any tilt cab, it's fixed, but it does have opening doors. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. And again, a removable roof with, there's a driver in there, and a steering wheel and a place for a coffee mug. You can see I've converted it to right-hand drive, which I do with most things in Lego City, since I live in Britain. But yeah, I just wanted to compare this to show you how large the new one is in comparison. And also it's just worth noting that this one can take 6 stud-wide cars, even though it's wide, it's on the rails. You can see this uses ladder pieces for the cars, which works quite well, except for this one, which has slightly small wheels, to be honest. It does grind out on it a bit. But this one does take 6 stud wide relatively comfortably, whereas the new one, if we change angle slightly, we're having an accident here, just move this out the road. If, gosh, it's falling apart. If we move that like that, you can see that the new one can take 4, well, they're really 5 studs with these mud guards. It can take them, and it can clamp them. This one with the smaller wheels, yeah, also clamped, but it could slide to the side a bit, but it does work. So it's quite good, but this one works with all sizes of Lego City cars made before it, and this one does, to be fair, even work with these big ones. So yeah, all round, quite a good set. Right, here are the 3 cars which come in the set, and they're all relatively simple, so we'll just have a look at them all together here. Let's just start with the purple one. As you can see, this car is purple. They're all kind of, I don't know, I would call them kind of top of the range, kind of supercars from each era. You know, maybe we kind of got 50s, 70s, and then more modern day. That's just how I see it, I don't know. This one uses 3 stickers to give it some detailing. I particularly like this one on the hood, using that kind of pentagon shaped piece. I like that. Inside, you can remove the roof, and there is just a steering wheel and a spot to sit. And that's about it. It uses the metallic kind of chrome pieces for the mirrors. And yeah, that's pretty much everything with this one. Again, no indicators. That must be a real theme in this set. Oh, front indicators, look at that. We got some. Right, let's put you back and let's have a look at the orange one now. So yes, I think this is more of like a modern day supercar. It kind of gives me a McLaren vibe. I don't know why, maybe it's the orange. But yeah, looks good. Not a lot to say about it really. It is what you see. You can see another removable kind of roof, although it's also the windscreen. And just a seat. Not a seat, sorry, a steering wheel. And yeah, there we go. It looks good. I think also this kind of hole is giving me McLaren Senna vibes. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why, but that is the case. The roof's not quite sitting down. There we go. I think it looks really good, to be fair. This is my favourite of the 3 cars. Again, don't really know why. It just is. And then there is this one, which actually I do quite like this one too, to be fair. I like all of them, but this one is obviously kind of a 50s, 60s design. American, probably like a Cadillac or a Chevy or something. I don't know. But, you know, it looks good. I'll check inside again. Removable roof. Comes with the back window. Just another steering wheel in there. Very red interior. This one is cool with the hidden wheels, which are, if we pop this side off, you can see that they use the very small little rims and the very low profile tyres to give it that kind of no rear wheel look. And it does work very well. It glides very smoothly. I mean, these do too, using the kind of Speed Champion style wheels. But this one particularly glides very smoothly. Doesn't work too well to get over the bumps on the car transporter, which you might have seen, especially because it's so low to the ground. But yeah, I do like it. All of these use a pre-formed chassis piece. This one uses a different one to this one. I believe the purple one uses the same as, yeah, this one. These two use the same, and then this one uses a slightly different one. But all of these cars also have one other little trick, which is that the front can be pulled off them and the rear can be pulled off them. And then the idea is you can take another car and pull the rear off it and the front off it, and then you can like mix and match and make some sort of abomination, which, you know, sure, if you want to do that, the option is there. I don't really see an appeal for that, and it does work quite well with the fact that even though this bonnet piece overlaps, it still fits. Yeah, so if you want to do that, you can. I'm not a big fan of the idea, personally, but, you know, if you want to kind of go strange and mix them up and have a real abomination of colours, I mean, the purple and the yellow really doesn't go together, but yeah, it's a feature that's there and it adds to playability, I guess. It's not my cup of tea, but it might be somebody's. Here are all the spare parts from the set. There's nothing too interesting here. There is no one of those little metallic pieces used on the purple car, and the little tyre from the yellow one. But apart from that, there isn't anything else here that interesting. I don't believe there's any printed pieces, although I could be wrong. I don't think so though. So kind of what you see is what you get. Thought that might be printed. It's not. So overall, I really like this set. And I really like that 2014 car transporter, which we had a look at, you know, the yellow one. And I think this is the first truly worthy successor to it. The one which came out a few years ago, again, I'll put the number down below right now. It just didn't look right to me with the single axle trailer, and nah, it just didn't seem right. This seems right. I like it. It's enormous, but it is kind of cool. It's slightly unfortunate how at 10 stud wide at these kind of arm points, it doesn't really fit on the new Lego City roads, the new road system. But, you know, with the size of cars now, the trucks had to get bigger to be able to haul the cars. So, you know, it's a whole scaling thing, which I think Lego need to kind of get a handle on. Things are just getting bigger and bigger and the roads aren't. So we'll need to see about that. But that's not a problem unique to this set. I don't know about the whole customize your car feature. It's a bit strange. But, you know, if you want to do it, it's there. And that's pretty much it. I like this set. I do recommend it. It is quite steep. I believe £90 in the UK. But the price to part ratio isn't that bad at all, because there is, as I say, almost 1,000 pieces. So, you know, value is probably there, and you do get a lot. You get 4 minifigures and then technically 4 vehicles and a big trailer. So yeah, I think the value is there. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye for now.